So first of all, thank you very much for having me. I mean, perhaps let me say that I'm going to repeat some of the things that Frederic, the chair, and sort of stress also some of the points that Ruben made. So first of all, let me perhaps give you an idea of where we were in terms of concentration and entry and exit rates before COVID. In particular, two main findings from our studies, which have then been confirmed by studies, for example, by the European Commission, is that there have been a steady decline in entry rates since 2000, and also job reallocation rates, both measures of dynamics. I don't know if you can see my screen here, while exit rate had remained rather constant. The specular aspect to this has been an increase in concentration, which has been found both in manufacturing market services and not only in the US, but also Europe. Now, then COVID arrived. As the chair, Frédéric Geny, mentioned, there have been strong restrictions. In dark blue, you can see that, for example, most countries that we have analyzed at the OECD have had to cancel, for example, public events. Most of them closed schools, travel bans, and so on. And we know that the stricter these lockdown measures and these confinement measures, the starker the decline in total production that has been observed. So what have we seen in terms of data here and in terms of evidence? The first thing, as I said, we started with declining entry rates. We now see lower entry rates during the crisis, in particular in Southern Europe, Spain, Italy, and Portugal, but also in countries like France. In others, we saw a very quick recovery, like in Canada and the UK over the summer, but we now know that there is a second lockdown. This has long-term consequences on employment. Now, governments came in, as Frederic said, quite strongly. Different measures were used, either with liquidity guarantee, immediate fiscal impulse, deferral measures for taxes and social security duties. And this actually, as Frederic mentioned in a study, colleagues in my division in the economics department have found that the combination of these different policies, going from debt moratoria, tax relief, but in particular wage relief, actually really brought to a strong decline in the potential exit due to liquidity shortfalls. Now, and this is in fact what we have seen. We have seen that there has been, if anything, thanks to changes in regulations that blocked exit and blocked bankruptcies from an administrative point of view in many countries, but also thanks to these support measures, we have seen a strong decline in exit. This is something that this decline in bankruptcy is a bit unexpected for many. And as Frederic mentioned, it has the value to have kept some continuity for many firms to have corrected for liquidity shortfalls and for the big weight that uncertainty has had on firms. Now, the big question is, at some point, because of the cost of the measures that I mentioned, governments will have to exit. The suggestion is from our studies is that the exit should be gradual, should take into account the fact that there is still a lot of uncertainties, that the demand will take time to pick up. And the big question is how will this gradual exit be shaped, in particular, as Frederic said, because he also has to take into account that there are other societal challenges that government want to encourage during the recovery period, in particular the digital transformation and the green recovery. So this is a bit a question also for everyone. For sure, there will be exits in the new year, and in terms of firms exit and firms bankruptcy, and the government will not have the fund to keep on saving failing firms or zombie firms.